Libra, welcome to your bonus in-depth reading that is Celtic Cross. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. With the Celtic Cross reading, as with any tarot reading, take what resonates, leave it does not. And do keep in mind these are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate to none of that's frustrating, but also normal. So if that happens, check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. And then, of course, if a second energy pops up on your board today, then you reverse those energies as you see fit, as it applies, right? Okay, what's up? What's going on? Show me Libra, please. Okay. Queen of Cups. Crossing. Death. Crowning you. Three of Wands. Past. Two of Pentacles. Exiting the Knight of Cups. Before you, Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. All right. Strengths. Queen of Wands. Environment. Temperance. Good. Six of Pentacles and the hopes and fears, and the outcome is the King of Pentacles. Yeah, you'll get back on track, I have no doubt. Currently, your heart space is under major repairs. Okay, transformation specifically. And death is crossing. Typically, you might identify as someone who's a big feeler. Okay. Open to love, giving and receiving, being generous of the heart. Many of those elements will still apply. Once the transformation process is complete, you will still identify with many of those Queen of Cups characteristics. But there's something here in how you feel and what you connect to and why that is changing. Okay? And so I'm seeing patience for you. Three of Wands is crowning. All right. Don't rush the process. I agree. You seem to know that you need space. You seem to know that you won't be rushed and that you shouldn't be rushed into anything. I'm going to take my time. I'm not really seeing it as wait. It's more like I'm choosing to hang out while this is happening. I'm not going to make any big demands on myself right now. Something in my heart is changing. Okay. Two of Pentacles in the past. I can see where you spend a lot of time juggling your emotions. Knight of Cups is on the exit. Okay. There's something here you used to try to figure out how to love or receive love from, and what does that mean? And we probably spent way too much time juggling the complexity of our feelings and someone else's. And at some point, I think you realized, I don't want to keep doing that. Love and the expression of it shouldn't be that difficult. Being vulnerable shouldn't be that difficult. Shouldn't have to play guessing games with myself or someone else. Okay. The Knight of Cups should be able to show up of his or her own accord, really. One should be able to speak for themselves, their feelings, claim them as truth, and also be open enough to do so. Shouldn't be a guessing game. Shouldn't have to go back and forth. For myself or anyone else I'm connected to. Before you, the Seven of Pentacles in future. Yeah, steady as she goes, right there on your pathway. You're 3D. In some way it's established. Okay? Queen of Wands is in your strengths. Yeah, you can get quite passionate, quite fiery, and that's lovely. That's a good strength to have. Okay. There's a certain sincerity attached to you. And fiery disposition attached to you. Okay? You can be intense, I have no doubt. A fighter too. Okay? But also someone who likes to blaze their own trail, if you will. Someone who's naturally passionate, creative. All right? It's good strengths. Temperance is in your environment. Yeah, you're healing. Like I said, there's the sense of no rush attached to you. You are showing yourself patience at this time and maybe even some distance between yourself and others. It could be that you are trying to stick to home these days. Just quiet, calm, considerate, temperate. You're clearly undergoing changes. Okay. Six of Pentacles and hopes and fears about your balances, maintaining them. What does that look like? You hope you're on point. You hope you're not missing anything. You hope you're not missing any particular balances. Six of Pentacles in tarot is a very generic cover term for that stuff we contractually agree to. So it's a back and forth balance that you can have between people, situations, places, circumstance, work, family. Six of Pentacles. It's the contracts you keep. and you're kind of hoping that you're on top of them all. Typically, it's multifunctional. I have yet to meet one person in his life who had like 1 6 of Pentacles. No. There are obligations everywhere, and they're supposed to be good for us. King of Pentacles in the outcome. Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well with our investment. Okay. We are doing well with our personal space, investing into that as well. Personal growth, financial growth, but also someone who is taking care of themselves. Okay. We are our own first investment and best investment. If we don't take care of that, we can't take care of other things either. So, okay. Let's get cracking. Let's see that Queen of Cups. Let's see that Queen of Cups, please. There's death again. Oh, my, my, my. The Emperor, Ace of Swords. So not only are you showing me that you have changed yourself in terms of your feelings for someone else have changed too, quite a bit. Death is here twice. Some of you have some very strong Scorpio in your chart. Could be connecting to, or the season might be important to you. But yeah, okay, death, Emperor, Ace of Swords. So like I said, once more, not only are your feelings changing, like I said, some core elements about the Queen of Cups will stay in you. Someone who is generally receptive to love, intuitive, soft in the heart. But you specifically are undergoing transformation in your feelings for someone else. Over here, death, the Emperor, Ace of Swords. You no longer perceive this person as you once did. They no longer enjoy the rank and role that you once gave them. They are no longer a person of importance. Okay? Again, the Emperor and Empress, they enjoy a particular assignment of importance in our lives. Okay? We perceive them as being a big deal to us. Their opinion, their authority, what it is that they do. Okay? So I don't know who that is to you, but it used to be someone who was way up here in your eyes and in your mind. Down here now. Okay? It does come across as an authority figure, or I should say ex-authority figure. This is someone whom you might have looked up to, or just assume had a great deal of importance, but no longer to you. So that could be anybody. A lot of authority or importance, or from your point of view, importance that you gave them, and they no longer have that title, that capacity, that level of responsibility. Your heart perceives them very differently now. Okay? They are clearly no longer in your life. All right. Let's say death, please. And you are still undergoing that particular transformation. The Empress, the Ace of Wands. All right. Someone who used to be your equal. Seven of Swords. And you've been doubting in your heart for some time of their equality to you. Okay. You sincerely doubt you can give whatever this connection is, this person, any more of your energy. Hope, specifically. The Ace of Wands, we must remember, isn't just passion, it's hope. Light will always suggest hope at the end of the day. Hope. Light of path, inspiration, hope. But yes, passion for some of you. Point is that you sincerely doubt you personally have it in you to give them any more of your energy, or to think of them as you once did. It's the transformation is so intense for you. It really is. It is so intense. It's got to be mind-blowing, right? One day, as you understand it, you're looking at this person. It's like they're my equal, they're my everything, to we're not the same. Maybe they're a better emperor over there on their own, and I'm a better empress over here on my own. And that comes down to literally how your heart has changed for them. Your feelings for them have changed quite a bit. I think you two went from being equals to enemies, maybe. I hope not. If they can keep in mind their worth at the end of the day, and you can keep in mind your worth at the end of the day, you two will be okay. But you two will be okay in separate ways. Okay? It's hard. It's hard looking at something like this and experience something like this when you understand that person's no longer equal. They're no longer a person of authority and power, and you're going to have to look at those things like, when did I stop seeing them that way? When did they stop seeing me that way? It's going to work both ways here. When did we get so off page with each other? When did that happen? How can we see each other so differently now? How come I can't rely upon them? And they don't seem to be able to rely upon me in my role either. That's a lot to unpack, so I can definitely see where you're showing me, don't rush me, leave me alone, I need distance, I need patience, I need healing, just give me space. You're very much needing space right now. Yeah, Three of Wands isn't always waiting, and when I was looking at it, I wasn't convinced that that was the case. It looked more like, I need distance, I need space. Three of Wands. I do believe I am seeing separation here. But again, once more, as it resonates, this could be separation from a long-term authority figure such as a parent, or like say someone that you went into business or partnership with years ago, and you're dividing that business or separating from it. There's so much here that suggests former equal members of a club, okay? Be that a marital union or a business partnership, but it's no longer the case. So not only is it like this now, separating, okay? Okay. Queen of Cups, Ace of Swords, and see, that's what you need time to think about all this. Long story short, you need time to think about all this, so you're gaining distance as we speak, perspective. I think some of you literally put physical distance between yourself and whatever this was, because your poor heart's so tired. It's exhausted processing all this stuff. There's lots of blind spots to go over, particularly when this all started to happen. And that's what you feel that you need to isolate for or gain distance. I'm not telling you to isolate yourself or gain distance. It's already done for this Libra, okay? So even if it's not physical distance as in miles, it's the metaphorical distance. I mean, you could be there in your house, but that doesn't mean you're accessible. Doesn't mean you're trying to talk to people or hang out or go to family picnics. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. So, and I can see why. Again, your poor heart's existed, but exhausted. Eight of Swords with the Hanged Man. There's a lot to think about. Particularly those blind spots. It's kind of like, when did this happen? When did this happen? When did this happen? And now you're really looking at it. And you expect real answers, but you also expect to be left alone. I don't blame you. Two of Pentacles. I don't know about you, but when I'm doing serious work like that, I want to be left alone. I don't want people bothering me. That's like this. Now is not a good time. Do you not understand? I just made this major shift in my life. Okay. Respect the silence, please. Two of Pentacles in the past. Back and forth. Juggling back and forth about feelings, the expression of them. King of Wands. The Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. Yeah, okay, this is something that you've been holding on to for a long time. Four of Pentacles, perhaps stubbornly so, and that's not an accusation. It's just, clearly this was something that you really thought you would never let go of. The intent wasn't there. From your point of view, this is something that would be held on forever and worked through forever, that you had all the time in the world to work through this. And for a while, you two did. That was the back and forth between you two. It was kind of an agreement. When I'm down, we're going to hold on and work through it. And when you're down, the same. But for some reason, in this past, I would say, not months, not even seasons, we're talking a couple of years, we weren't able to come back together consistently in our feelings. The intent was always there, to merge and be consistent again. But working through the feelings and to stop juggling them, that was always the intent. That was something that you two had gotten used to, but in this past couple of years, that didn't happen. We weren't mending our fences. We weren't minding each other's emotional states. Knight of Cups is in the exiting. Excuse me. Knight of Cups is exiting. The willingness to be vulnerable, to express oneself openly and freely, without having to overly think about it or etc. Knight of Cups. The Sun, the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. And yeah, because of that back and forth process, which again, I'm thinking took place over a course of a couple years, 2 years, upwards to 4 years. That back and forth gave you both ample room to discount each other's sense of happiness and love. And it's like, why is this getting harder and harder between us? I really am looking at a case of we grew apart. It's very exaggerated, and it happened over a long period of time. It got harder and harder to see the natural happiness. It got harder and harder to see and experience the natural love. So here I'm seeing the intent to get back together. We always bring it back together, but we didn't. It's like we took that space, that time for granted, and then it got to the point of neglect on both sides, it looks like. Okay. To the point that how you perceive them had changed a great deal. It's kind of like you're showing me more and more signs every day that you're not really here, you're not really invested, and you don't really care, and I'm starting to feel the same now. But with that exit, though, the exit of the confusion, too, it's like we don't have to figure out how to juggle this anymore or be open towards it anymore. The inclination to try is gone. And that's what you recognize in yourself. That's transformed. Your willingness to try, to be invested, to keep it going. You don't recognize that in yourself anymore. Seven of Pentacles. So that's going to take a while to continue to unravel. Mind you, Temperance is still in your environment. Mind you, I'm still seeing you emotionally isolate, if nothing else, because you need that at this time. This is very, very fresh. So even though this had years to stretch out, even though it's had years to kind of fall apart, I'm seeing the separation now. It's very fresh. The Hierophant, Three of Swords, Three of Wands, yeah. Okay, so there we are. Yeah, okay, more and more evidence that this is commitment as in marriage, but again, once more as it resonates. The Pathway, Three of Swords, Three of Wands. Yeah. While you're clearly at a distance and you're processing all these things, I have someone here who's still kind of, spiritually attached to you. Their energy lingers still on the pre-existing pathway that you two shared while you were at a distance from them. They're kind of waiting on you. That's active waiting, hoping in their own way that you'll return. They're still showing me a kind of spiritual devotion to whatever this was, this pathway, which is interesting because they say they no longer view you the same way either. So I think they're showing me acknowledgement this is over because they had death attached to their figure. You opened up with it. I think what you're showing me is that you both acknowledge this is over, that you are better off in terms of separate ways, but I believe it's them and their spiritual energy still lingers to you. And I see them anchored to the pathway. I believe they miss you. I believe they long for you, even if they acknowledge that it's over. Okay. And that's normal, and that's because the separation is still fresh. Okay. You're going to have your moments too. You'll have your moments. They're going to have their moments. But yeah, someone's still showing me spiritual devotion to you if nothing else, because it looks like they're still immersed in the pathway that you two had established. So I believe they stayed there and you went in your own particular direction. Okay. It hurts, and it's going to continue to hurt. Okay? For a while, yeah. All right? But yeah, no, I mean, let's make it clear. I saw 2 people here say it's over. And that you need your space to better understand what happened here and the confusion and how long it had taken hold between you two. But yes, somebody's energy, at least for now, spiritually, it seems, is still connected to you, contemplates you, in many ways still anticipates you to come home, it seems. Okay. Obviously, they have healing to do, as do you. All right? You both do. What you do with that information's up to you, but it can't really be a surprise, though, can it? You know? The pathway being what it was, it might have been stagnant, it might have been repetitive, non-changing. But still, it was a pathway that was familiar to you both. You're going to ache in your way, they're going to ache in their way, all right? Queen of Wands is in your strengths. I got you, honey. I got you. I got you. Remember, this happened to the both of you, okay? 9 of Cups, Knight of Cups, and Judgment. Okay. You consider it strength to listen to what you feel. I agree. It's in this kind of Knight of Cups energy that you are familiar with that kind of gave you that kind of judgment call, that final judgment call. You listening to yourself and understanding the correctness of it. That there shouldn't be so much disruption. There shouldn't be so much fragmentation around what you feel. You should have confidence in your feelings, and you're saying they should too. I get what you're saying. It's what allowed you that judgment call. Is kind of remembering that the expression of one's feelings should be easy. Shouldn't have to hem and haw and wait and be confused by it. And it most certainly shouldn't stretch out like that for years. It should be a declarative. Love is a declarative. I love you without questions, issues, or hang-ups. No clauses. No additional footnotes. Just, these are my feelings. But there was so much hesitation around bringing them together and seeing where you two still gelled. Why is there so much delay around the natural expression? Are you happy? Was that it? Was that the question? Are you happy? And somebody's like, well, that happy is relative. It's, things get, are you happy? Well, we have good days and we all have good days. We'll have bad days. Are you happy with me? Well, I can't, well, we're used to it. We're married. Okay, but are you happy? You see what I'm saying? So your strength then is saying you should know feelings should be easier. We're either happy or we're not happy. I don't see you and experience you the same way. So I guess I can say I'm not happy. Because I'm saying the ending acknowledged when 2 people. I think when one person said it, and I believe it was you, the other person did too. But the aches are still going to remain, okay? But yeah, that's a good strength to have, is to know your feelings and that they should be easily expressed, not divided up, not portioned out, not negotiated, not going back and forth on it. We either are or we're not. Love is an absolute. Happiness is an absolute. It either is or it isn't. Okay. Temperance. But you know yourself quite well in the emotions department, and You see for yourself how your feelings for them have changed. I think when you owned that, it allowed them to release as well. The Emperor, Ten of Cups, and the Magician. Okay. Okay. All right. That's fair. I think it is. Kind of depends on who the Emperor is, but someone is asking to heal, desiring very much to heal in the greater scheme of things for the Ten of Cups, inner circle. I don't know if that's peace talks, an agreement to be in each other's lives where family is concerned, okay? But it's very much, I want to get along. I very much want to get along for the Ten of Cups. Okay, so we're talking about family and friends. I don't think it's to save face. It looks like it's an authentic outreach of someone's desire to really find a place in each other's lives, even if it's over. It's like peace talks or treaty talks over the environment. Okay? Because right now you seem to be at a distance from that environment. So they are asking you to come back. But can we find space in each other's lives in a healthy way, in a healthy, functioning way? Okay? Where you don't have to be isolated or at a distance. I really want to get along with you where inner circle is concerned. When I look out upon the world, it would make me glad to know that you're there, even if you and I aren't together anymore. Okay? It looks very calm. It looks like it's well thought out in terms of spirit and emotional delivery. So while the romantic love may not be there and the passionate love may not be there, okay. Someone very much desires a kind of emotional and spiritual peace with you. I believe it's them, but it could be you. I did see that person as tied to the home base while you were at a distance, okay? And I did see that they are longing for you to return. And immediately what's put forward is an offer of peace. I don't know if it's to keep the relationship together necessarily because it was marked with such a strong closing, not once but twice. But it does look like a spiritual dedication to be in each other's lives in a healthy way. All right? That means you have choice as much as they have choice. You get to choose. But there is a huge desire on at least one person's part to make a healthy, supportive space in the inner circle for each other. Okay? It looks sincere. It looks very sincere to me. Can we make an effort, please, to get along? Not just for the sake of family and friends and our appearance, but because I really do desire that. I really do want that. I would like to harmonize with you. You always be a person of meaning or significance to me. Okay? All right. So it is quite sincere. I can't say that it isn't. It's pretty sincere. Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles and the hopes and fears. So that's interesting then. Okay. That in your Six of Pentacles and the hopes and fears makes a little more sense then. Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah. I was going to say that's very grand. It's very grand, and I think they mean it. But your hopes and fears, your natural reaction, Six of Pentacles, was, I don't know if I can balance with this, but maybe I can, maybe I should. Practically speaking, I could. Practically speaking, you could. Practically speaking, you could show up to the next, family birthday party or barbecue or quinceañera, and like you two are just like, you're cool, you're cool, you're cool, you're cool, you can do this, you can do this. They're saying, I want emotional space with you. I show up as a person of love and support, maybe not like spousal love or in love, romantic love, but someone of support, and I mean that. And then you said the practical application, though, of a balance. 6 of Swords, Page of Wands, 7 of Swords. You have doubts, and I don't blame you for that. This is where I'm saying people you have to exercise choice. There's what they're asking for, which is beautiful. And in their spirit, it makes perfect sense. You, in your mind, okay, being an air sign, you're having a difficult time wrapping your mind around the actual feasibility. You don't find it attractive. It's kind of like, if it's done, I want it to be done. So it's well, they're showing what looks like a beautiful effort to stay spiritually and emotionally inclusive towards each other. You're like, I don't, practically speaking, I don't know that I want to do that. It's like, so what does that make you then, right? Practically speaking, we're not each other's spouses anymore, clearly. So what are we going to do? To pretend to be good friends in a family dynamic? Best cousins? What? How do you think it's going to work in terms of the practical application? So this is where I see big spiritual, emotional ideas put forward, but somebody's like, reality though, how does that work? You know, don't tell me you can't, we're not each other's true spouses anymore. I don't see you that way, and let's be real, you don't see me that way either. So thank you very much for waiting for me to come home, because here's your offer of peace and how we can get along outside of being in a union. But it doesn't make sense. It's like you're changing the label. That way you can keep the connection. That's not how I want to be kept. You are either my spouse or you are not my spouse. You are either my family or you are not my family. Clearly, we're not friends, right? Thank goodness I didn't see the old friendship offer put down. I would have rolled my eyes at that one. 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords. So yeah, I mean, no doubt. Your fears around the balance of this are much higher than the hope for it. So again, hopes and fears is not outcome. It's just what's going on the inside. So while on the outside, it looks like a lovely proposition to be in each other's lives in a substantial way. Again, it's like they're trying to keep the connection and lose the label of partners, spouses, something like this. So again, it's like, but how does that work? I feel like we're trying to compromise here, and it's not necessarily the most well thought out compromise. No, I understand you want to get along with me, and that's important to you. But how do we make sense? Because we're not together like that anymore. You're trying to keep me. It's like, it's another variation of have my cake and eat it too. I want to look like I'm getting along with you, and I want to say that you're a person of importance in my life, and that'll show up when you need me, but we're just not, married. I don't know. I'm kind of like you. I like clear lines of distinction. You're either my partner, you're a family member, you're a friend, you're a lover. You see what I'm saying? Clear lines. And I think you're having a hard time with it because you're seeing the proposal, as lovely as it is and sincere as it is, you're seeing it blurs the lines. And you like clear lines, and I have to agree. You're someone who prides yourself on your feelings, so be honest in return. Emotional honesty for sincere offer. But again, it's something you have to work through. You're going to have to figure it out, because you're like, I just don't see how it's feasible. Then that's what you say. That's the truth in your heart. Then that's what you say. If you want clean lines, I'm sorry, we're now exes at this point. We need to disentangle our family ties or whatever. How far it goes, I don't know. But I get it. You want clean lines. So no wonder they were waiting for you to come back. It's that they really wanted to put this forward as you two continue to separate. King of Pentacles, it's like peace. Can we establish peace and meaning and significance in each other? Can you still show up in love and support me? No. We're divorcing. We're separating. You need to get that through your head. I don't. Like, you see what I'm saying? But it's very sincere. It is sincere. So to each their own, guys. You got to figure it out for yourselves. I can only tell you so much. And that's it if you resonate. This is a hell of a story today. King of Pentacles. There's too many blurred lines from your point of view, and I think it's a very realistic concern that you have. You want the love and support of family and partnership, but not actually be partners. And it's like, no, I don't. That was their whole thing. That's what we concluded. We don't have those feelings for each other anymore. So let it be the reality. Okay, the reality here needs to take effect. I don't think you want to support unnecessary emotions that you know you shouldn't be, because that's not going to leave you space for other things in your life. Because eventually you're going to want to do other things and connect to other people. And it's going to be hard to do that if you're still emotionally supporting someone like they're still part of your family or still your spouse. Real talk. Okay. Nine of Swords. The High Priestess and Death. That's that baby, you got it. You got it. You preceded me. Good job. Good job. Good job. No, I'm serious. You preceded me right there. King of Pentacles. Practically speaking, you know you're supposed to invest in your own life and in your own way, and that you intuitively feel that this isn't worth it, that this is not the way to go. I have to agree. You want clear lines, not blurred lines on this one. I have to, guys, it was over. It was non-negotiable. Your heart space had transformed so much over this person. Are you still loving? Yes. Are you still emotionally generous? Yes. Are you still intuitive? Yes. I've seen that many times. But when it comes to this person, no. And it took you years to figure that out. It shouldn't be this hard for someone to say, are you happy? And you get a bunch of non-committal gibberish in return. Well, no, this and that, and it's just been a hard year, and maybe next year. No, are you happy with me? Etc. We've been through it. You've been through it. And it's when you speak the truth that they do as well. But I still see their energy waiting for you, literally and metaphorically, to honor the commitment in some way. When you come back to the environment, immediately launch into, let's still be persons of significance in each other's lives. So they want the emotional love. They want the support. They want the family support, but without the structure of a relationship or marriage. No. It's another variation of continue to love and support me even while we go our own separate ways. No. No. Because if we were doing that correctly, we wouldn't be divorcing. You understand? How much stronger do I have to make my language? If it was working out like that way to begin with, you and I wouldn't be separating. Okay, so take the proof for what it is, not what it isn't. Man, somebody really wants to hold on, but it's for love, it's support, approval. It's not for the connection, it's not for the commitment, it's not for the marriage. Again, if that was operable, you two wouldn't be ending. I can't stand it when people just want to compromise themselves like that. It sucks too, because they got some beautiful energy, but they're compromising it. They don't say it that way, but they're compromising it. It's a cake and eat it too. And if you agree to that, you know it. You know it's not. You will still be supporting someone now you're no longer legally or spiritually required to support. I hate that. I cannot begin to tell you how many times I've seen this. Typically, not always, but more often than not, it's in older couples that officially separate, but they still support each other and they never find anyone else. So it's like, what was the point? You two are still involved in each other's lives, and therefore you will never have any energy or courage to find something new. What was the point? Why did you bother? You should have just stayed married. It's two people. They thought that divorce would prompt change. No, it's no guarantee. Just like marriage doesn't necessarily guarantee happiness. No. A lot of people enter marriage thinking, okay, now I'm going to be my best self. If you weren't already your best self prior to marriage, you're not going to be your best self entering it. You will literally enter marriage how you entered it prior to saying I do. Who you were before is going to be the same person as who you are after. It's a common misconception. Same thing as after divorce with people who aren't really prepared for it. Okay, this divorce is going to change everything. It's going to give me the clean slate. And then they do nothing to actually activate that clean slate or new beginning. So what do? They go back to that person and just kind of resume a not marriage. Guys, let me tell you something. I'm saying that to tell you this. It's like, you know it's not going to work. It's going to put you in more doubts and make you feel extremely insecure about actually moving on. about actually moving forward, and what the heck would I be getting involved in at that point if I agreed to this? I agree. It's not a good investment. Practically speaking, it does not look like a good investment to me. But to each their own, you get to choose. Tarot Lady can only tell you so much. But yeah, no, that one would be an energy drain. Yeah. Yeah, it would be an energy drain. I think it's a bad investment. I have to agree with you. Number 41. Gratitude is the life force of peace. What are you thankful for? Absolutely. And that's part of moving on, and really moving on and letting go is finding gratitude for what you have, for what did work out, for the time served. Thank you for what this taught me, afforded me, or lended to my life. I make my peace with that. Now I'm ready to let it go. Yeah, number 41. Find peace in your heart. The gratitude is there. You know, this is what this gave me. You know, you gave me some of the best years of my life in terms of love or support or security. But we found out that wasn't sustainable between you and I. I hope that you find someone who is sustainable with. But doing this compromise where we keep each other in our lives to feel secure is actually going to undermine my security. I'm sorry. I like clean lines of designation, you know? I completely get you on that. 25. It's all in divine order. Allow it to take place. Yeah. I really like your strength here. It makes perfect sense to me, and it's one of the things that allowed you to call this out for what it is. Look, it shouldn't be this hard. I know what feelings are. You should be able to say, absolutely, I love you without hesitation, and absolutely, you make me happy, or this life makes me happy without hesitation. You and I haven't gotten back on the same page in years, and I'm not inclined to anymore. I see you so differently now. My heart feels so differently towards you now. I'm honoring that. I need you to do the same, okay? They have some beautiful qualities in them as Emperor, but trying to hold on to something that they probably should have been more mindful of in the first place. You know, don't offer to stay in my life now in this beautiful way when that's what we had. We had it, or we were supposed to have it. Okay. 4, birth, and 33, coupled up together. This is the making of you. Rebirth is here. Yes, I've seen that. Death was there 3 times. I'm telling you, some of you have some very strong Scorpio in your chart. Not that you have to, but I'm not going to lie. It's there. 4, and unicorn. Yes, the rebirth. The making of you. Something special. Something very special. Number 4 and 33. But also, the unicorn here in this deck is attributed to freedom, healing, and magic, not just the uniqueness, the rarity, or the intuitive self. So, yeah, we have the freedom and healing here, but your birth or rebirth. I really strongly feel that this is your new beginning, okay? You showed me transformation several times. This connection's closed out. I saw why they were hoping for you to return, so that they could run this fantastic idea by you. But once more, it's up to you, okay? We have the letters T, L, S, F, H. We have the butterfly. Once more, sign of transformation. Now here, 4 times. So once more, you could have some very strong Scorpio in your chart connecting to, or this upcoming season, which is not too far from now, could be very important to you in terms of finalizing this, or you come back home. I feel like a lot's going to take place between now upwards to Scorpio season, where a lot of these points are tying up. Okay? Many of you are still right up here in that space of distance where you acknowledge that this is over and you're still unpacking why. Right here. And then I see before you, back at home base, back on the pathway, that person waits for you, at least in terms of their spiritual loyalty. They run the big idea about you, or around you, or with you, about still being in each other's lives. And you're like, doubts, problem, red flag, this is going to be an energy drain, this is a bad investment. What they're asking for is not what I want to give. This would be a bad, if I sign up to this, it's like I should just leave that alone. No, because it's kind of like if I sign up to this, I'm in some way contracting myself to them, even though it's technically over and I shouldn't owe them anything at this point. You are correct. Again, be aware of stuff that looks good maybe on paper when you hear it, but it could actually cost you more in the long term. Particularly your new beginning, if someone's still pulling on you energetically or emotionally. We have the chakras currently not in alignment. It's in reverse. Yes, you're working on that, and they need to do that as well. Okay, Libra honey, this one was really interesting. It was upfront. It was very live. It's very happening now. And I do see it reaching its kind of conclusion. Upwards to Scorpio and even Sagittarius season. Okay? I don't think this will be wrapped up tomorrow. No. But it will be wrapped up. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. See, I did the same darn thing. I think it was Aries. That's because I hardly used the dice, and it's like literally the last thing I do. So, of course, I forgot it, and by then my table's an absolute mess. But let's go ahead and get you some numbers. What you can do with these, I don't know. For some of you, it's confirmation. Some of you just like it. Some of you, it's like, well, I'm going to include those in my next lottery ticket, in which case, good luck to you. Okay, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 8, or 8, 2, 2, you know. Something significant may have occurred for you, by the way, on August 22nd, which was about 4 days ago. Yeah. Doesn't have to be, but yeah, I'm not going to lie, that was my first thought. Anyway, 8, 2, and 2. Okay, Libra, now we're done. I hope this helped. Take care. Be well.